Hello, friends around the world. I want to welcome you once again to Prime Testimony channel. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you for subscribing to this channel and introducing this channel to other friends and acquaintances. We would encourage you to continue watching programs at this channel, continue sharing, continue giving us your comments, your feedback, so that it will help us to be able to improve on our content. Today, too, we thank God for another beautiful day. We have another nice package for you. Today, we are going to look at African culture, specifically Ghanaian culture. And the message that is coming to you is titled Manners Brewed in African Baskets. Manners brewed in African baskets. There are certain cultures that have been handed over to us by generation upon generations, and we want to share few of them with you. And I believe at the end of the day you would understand why Ghana is being touted as a place where people are naturally hospitable. The secret is that the way we are brought up, the way we are acculturated, the way we are woven, that is what accounts for how we receive everybody from anywhere around the world. You would understand that it's not a matter of weakness, it's not a matter of low self-esteem, but it's a matter of us liking people everywhere, liking ourselves, loving ourselves, and loving people everywhere. The Ghanaian naturally is not somebody who is warlike. Yes, we know we have different people, and every country has issues. But my friend living everywhere, when was the last time you heard that Ghana has taken up arms, going to war with another country? In every country, there are certain internal squabbles that happen here and there. But Ghanaians by nature are cool, peaceful people. And employers around the world will agree with us how Ghanaians have worked hard wherever they are to support the various organizations that they work for. So let's go to the topic. Manners brewed in African baskets. We were taught that whenever you wake up from bed, you have to greet everybody. So greetings is something that is very simple and easy for a Ghanaian. You meet somebody in the street, you don't know the person, you greet the person and you pass. Whether the person, you've met the person before, you've not met the person, especially if the person is an adult, you greet the person and then you go your way. And it begins from home. You wake up, you have to greet your father, your mother, your brothers, your sisters, find out how they are before you start doing the days, whatever you want to do. And we also taught that when you get up, you have to pray. Because our parents let us know that life itself is a gift. So if by God's grace you sleep and you wake up peacefully, then you have to thank your God that you have life. And if you remember that life is a gift, it will keep your spirit humble, knowing that God can decide to give you life today or can decide to take away your life. So we also taught to pray when you wake up every morning. We also taught that when you are living in the same house with people, you wake up and a couple of hours you have not seen that person, let's say about 6 hours, you've not seen that your next door neighbor is not up, the door is locked, and the person did not inform you that, oh, I might travel. Go knock at the door gently to find out whether everything is all right. And these days that phones are available, what we do is that when you knock and the person is not there, you can call the person's phone just to be sure that the person is all right. Because we're taught that it is important to have good relations or good relationship with your neighbors. So it is another thing that we also thought not to do. We were also taught to ensure that You check up on other people. And because we are used to this culture during this COVID period, it really helped, because even before this COVID season, it is something that we have been taught to do. Check on your next door neighbor and ensure all is well, with him. We also taught that as a teenager, you have to try to wake up before your parents wake up, and try doing the house chores before your parents wake up. In some instances, yes, the parents may wake up, but we were made to understand that you need to wake up and try doing the household chores to help your parents before they wake up. So if you have children who consistently will sleep for so many hours, for a day to break for so many hours before you wake them up, then you've got to check that, because that's not how we were told. We're even told that when you grow up and you are going to work, you may have to wake up at dawn and join a bus at dawn to avoid traffic. So these things are some of the things that we also taught as children. We also, taught that when you sit in a bus and then an elderly person comes, you have to stand up and give up your seat to that elderly person. Not only that, if the person is carrying a baby, you need, and especially you were a boy or you were a man, you were encouraged to give up your seat to the lady to sit, so that she'll be able to breastfeed the baby, or the elderly person will be able to sit comfortably. And usually what we realize is that as soon as you give your seat to the person, blessing will come out of the mouth of the elder person. He says, God bless you. And our parents were made to understand that those blessings enable us to live long, and we believed these things. And it continues. One thing we were cautioned about is never to scramble for a seat in a bus or a public place with an elderly person. When there is only one seat left, we're taught to let the elderly person have it. We were also taught as children and as youth not to jump queues. Do not jump queue. For example, you go to a supermarket, or you go to another place where they have queue to buy a product or to buy a service. You need to wait till your turn. And I remember my mother telling me that if you want to know somebody who is patient, who is honest, who doesn't cheat, look at the person's behavior when there is a queue. So even young ladies those days were advised that if you want to know the character of a man whom you want to marry, observe him, observe his attitude when it comes to joining queues. Because anybody who is not patient to join queue and always want to join the queue means that that person is a cheat. That person is not honest. That person is not faithful. These were some of the things, the clues that they gave us to look at people and to assess them. We were also informed that when you go to a place and they give you food, or they give you something in bulk, and they give you an opportunity, okay, take some. You need to be wise to take a little and use. Because for all you know, they are testing to see your faithfulness. So we were made aware that when they give you the whole lot, that, oh, take some, you need to be wise enough not to take all, or not to take the majority, but to take, a little. We also made to understand, or we also taught that a young boy or a young girl should not chew gum in front of an elderly person, or speak whilst talking to an older person and then having chewing gum in your mouth. Can you imagine talking to God at church and chewing gum at the same time? Or talking to your mother and your father and chewing gum at the same time? These were some of the things that they held so high, and they did not want us to make any such mistakes as to putting gums in our mouth and then talking to an elderly people. The question is that these days, do we see this happening or we don't see these things happening? Because culture is dynamic, sometimes certain cultures from other places come in. But traditionally, you are not supposed to do that. In actual fact, when I was a child in my village, children even were not allowed to chew gum. But later on in the years, when we saw the health benefits of chewing gum with regard to exercising your jaws, I think to some extent, children are allowed to chew gum, but you are not supposed to chew gum when you are talking to elderly people. One beautiful culture, Ghanaian culture, and it's so in a lot of African countries, is that we do not take our elderly people to aged home. Our elderly people are made to live with us as family members so that we take care of them. Even where their own biological children have grown and married and they are working in other places, they live with their bigger family and they are taken care of. They are eating, they are cleaning and everything. And these elderly people who also live among us also become like a consultant who also share knowledge, tell us things that happened in the past. And whenever anybody, there's going to be a festival, there's going to be naming ceremony, marriage ceremony and funerals, these elderly people are the consultant who direct the younger ones what should be done and then what should not be done. These elderly people are there that, try to come in people who are having conflicts, and they are helping settling conflicts. So conflict resolution is sometimes some free, services these elderly people provide for us. It also helps a lot. So in Africa, our elderly people are not taken to older homes. They live among us as family. About personal hygiene, there is something we also taught, that anytime you come from school or you come from work and you remove your shoes, you do not put the socks inside the shoes. You dry the socks separately from the shoes. So for example, your father comes from work, and then as a child or as a wife, you meet the husband, or as a child you meet the father or even your mother. The shoe that your mother or your father is wearing, after welcoming them and giving them water, you come out, clean it, and then if it's a man, then you put the shoes, outside and then dry it. You may have to put the socks into the bin where you would, pick. I'm talking about the baskets in which you put dirty things, so that the weekend you wash them or you wash them instantly. So we're taught never to put dirty socks inside shoes, so that air will be able to blow, inside the shoes, so that it doesn't attract any bacteria or any other thing that would not be pleasant. We also taught that whenever you travel to anywhere, you have to send message, find a way of sending message back. Even those times that they were not telephone, you have to find a message through a driver or through somebody that you have arrived safely. Later on, when we were growing and we saw telephone, what you do is that when you arrive, you have to call your parents, or if your parents did not have phones at that time, you have to find another way of sending message to them to know that you have arrived safely. So as it happens now, when you go to school, you are going to school. For Ghanaian secondary schools or secondary school, they are not allowed to use telephones, mobile phones in school. But you can go to the teacher, you let the teacher call your parent to let them know that you have arrived safely. So wherever you go, you let them know that you have arrived safely. We also made to understand that yes, people write letters, people do this, but voice is the most important form of communication for the parents. At that time, we did not have WhatsApp. Right now, we have WhatsApp and we have all these things. You cannot say that, Daddy, I WhatsApp you this, I did that, so voice is not important. Much as you can send WhatsApp, when you have the opportunity to make a phone call, make sure you make a phone call. I have a younger sibling who was asking me a question. Does God read WhatsApps? And I say, yes, God created everything. So God can also read WhatsApp. I say, if God can read WhatsApp, then why do we sing? Because God likes the voice. So if you send God WhatsApp, you still have to say them. So that's beautiful. Bravo for a 7-year-old, little boy to be able to think that way. It is very, very important. All I believe he was trying to say is that irrespective of other forms of communication, voice communication is also very, 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 important. We were also taught as children that you should not brag. Brag, B-R-A-G. But let people discover your value. You do not need to say, I am this, I am that, I am from here, I am this, I am that. But live your life well and let people discover your worth. And I think personally, this kind of advice that our parents gave us, our grandparents gave us, has helped me a lot. One thing I've realized in this world that the true achievers do not make noise. The very true rich people do not make noise. But there are some people, they get some small coins. The whole world will hear of them. So we were advised never to make noise about who we are, but we should continue to live our lives and live very, 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 very good lives so that our lives will sell us, not what we see. We also taught that we must also deal honestly with everybody, whether in the house, whether at work, whether in relationships, whether in the family settings, even in the payment of your taxes to the government. You were told that you need, because they're saying that you can we're advised that you were taught that you can use so many years to build a reputation, but one single mistake can bring your reputation down, which you will find it very, very difficult to repair. We were also taught that when you are sent and you are given change, even if they are in coins, that is in pesos. In the case of Ghana, other countries will say they are cents or whatever. Irrespective of how small those coins are, you have obligation to return it intact to the one who sent you. If you don't do that, it means that you are indirectly telling the person that you are not trustworthy. So for example, you go to a bank and then you are going to get some withdrawal and there's supposed to be some coins that should be added. It is the duty of the teller to inform you, the customer, that, oh, Madam so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, I'm supposed to add this coin, but unfortunately, I'm short of coins. I do not have it. Would you want to? Then she gives you the alternative suggestion. In some cases, they may even ask if you have some coins, you bring it and they give you a 1 cedi note, or in some cases, they will say a $1 note in a situation where the person is keeping different countries, account. There is something we call nkrubo, where children meet and role play their parents. They will bring various foodstuffs and bring little utensils, and then they will be playing as if it is the parents that are preparing food, and they will even role play how they will serve their daddies or their future husbands, food. These are incredible, and we were told that even as we grow past that age, we must show interest in what the children do and then give them the necessary direction. Oh, incredible! Oh yeah, down. Incredible was very, 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 very nice, and that is where and how a lot of people learned how to cook. We also taught that as boys we must learn to cook. We must learn to help at the kitchen. And the girls were also taught to learn to iron men's clothes and do other men's stuff. Because as we grow, we will leave the house, and once we have these skills already acquired, it will help us in our future homes and in our future marriages. We also taught that when you marry, you have to be extra careful about what you eat, because people start getting certain health challenges right after marriage. Some people do not take care about what they eat after marriage, and sometimes they will outgrow in size and they will start having challenges. I did not really understand those advice until I grew up, and I really understood that even to keep your shape as a lady, for your husband to love you, is something very, very, very important. So once you marry, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you have to be careful what you eat and how often you eat. Enjoy life, but be careful of the health, consideration. We also taught as children and as youth to show kindness. And as soon as you marry, you show extra kindness to your in-laws. And once you do this as a spouse, your spouse will also reciprocate. For example, can you imagine a lady who shows so much concern about the mother-in-law or the father-in-law, asking the husband, have you remitted your parents? What can we do together to help them? Showing so much concern about the in-laws. It's a wise lady that will do that. And once you do that, your husband will also realize that, no, this lady is not selfish. So I must also do same for the mother. So with all these things we're taught when we're kids, that show interest, show love, show respect in your in-laws and support them. And once you do that, it will, automatically, attract same from your husband or from your wife. As children, we also taught that we must treat visitors with kindness. People who do not understand this aspect of Ghanaian culture sometimes misinterpret it as weakness, as low self-esteem. No. That's how we are wired up. And I believe that's the reason why Ghanaians by nature are not warlike. We were taught to treat visitors with the utmost kindness. That is our culture. Those who do not understand it sometimes may even laugh at it and look at them. They are feeble. They are no. That is why in Ghana, most of the time when you are making a statement, you say please. You put please in front of a lot of statements that you will make. If you don't understand, I watched something on television, I think that person was a visitor, and the person was amazed. Why should you put, and he thought that it should have been the other way around. No. That's our culture. Yeah, you also have your beautiful culture, but you cannot impose yours on us. We believe it is the best way to live, to show respect to one another. It's a beautiful culture. Ghana has a lot of beautiful culture, and I will encourage you to come visit Ghana and you experience the beauty of the land. Ghanaians are beautiful. Ghanaians naturally are humble. Ghanaians naturally are not quarrelsome. And why this is all because of the way we were taught as children. At a different time, I will update this very topic. Manners brewed in African baskets. Remember, the COVID-19 has not left us. It is growing at an alarming rate. So ensure that you keep the social distancing that has been prescribed. Make sure you always have your face mask on, and make sure you wash your hands as required and sanitize. Until we come your way again, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Continue sharing with your other friends and acquaintances around the world. Feel free to make comments to help us improve upon this channel. This is Ato Brentishan, your friend Ato, aka Ato Testimony. Until I come your way again next week, remain blessed.